Welcome back to another episode of Outside with Dad. In today's episode, we get rained out, thunder claps in the distance, and we eat more Spam. You ready to go again?
Yep, let's go again.
Alright, we're back at Kings Mills again after 2 weeks.
Yep.
You see the sign that says Foster, then Loveland, then Miamiville. Go in that way. And then today we're going to be going the opposite way, all the way to Morrow. You ready, buddy?
Yep.
Alright, so today we're heading the opposite direction as we did with our first trip. First thing I've noticed down here, which you might not be able to see through the trees, is that the river is very swollen. We had quite a bit of rain last night. Wow, Leah, look at that. That looks like it's burst its banks. That's very high up for Little Miami. Yeah, so originally today I was thinking about going kayaking, but the weather decided to get a bit rainy, and it's one of those days where it could pour hard or we could get sunburned, but hopefully not on this track. It's supposed to be overcast and mid-70s today, so we'll see how it goes. So today's goal is to do 8.4 miles tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but tomorrow. And so that makes what, 16, nearly 17 miles, so somewhere between our first ride and our second ride. Last week's ride ended up being a lot longer because we couldn't find a place to stop, but we did good, and see how we do today. Leah's already zooming ahead. He's definitely got his energy up again. He was a bit slow to get going this morning, but he got going. Alright, so we've just encountered our first sign. This is where the path actually splits. You can go toward Lebanon or you can carry on toward Morrow. You can see right here.
We're going to Morrow, right?
Yep, we're going to Morrow. Not tomorrow, but tomorrow. Yep, so you can go down there or carry on. I think my favorite part about this trail is that not only is it close to the river, but it's also very shaded with all these trees, which is particularly nice on a summer's day, so you don't have to worry about wearing tons of sunscreen or getting sunburned. Also, I haven't replaced anything on my bike yet. I've been procrastinating a little bit. Just don't want to spend the money just yet, but I really should, because it's still creaking and my bum's still sore. Also really need to get those side bags, so I don't have to wear this backpack anymore because it's quite heavy with all the water in it. Although it does get lighter as the day goes on. One thing I should point out is that I always carry a life straw with me, and since we're down by the river, we're never in any danger of actually running out of water last time. We also have a bunch of water at the truck as well, so whenever we finish there's always plenty of water. Squirrels! I must say the Great Miami Trail was actually very scenic, especially between Trenton and Middletown. That nice big river, and you're quite close to it out in the open like that. So I do like that about that last trail. Yeah, we're off to an earlier start today. It's currently 10:45. We started about 10:30. Already done about 1.5 to 2 miles. Stop for a second. Yeah, particularly like this bike path, because there's so many places to stop, which is really nice. Nice little stop, isn't it? Want a snack?
Yeah, I feel like I'm eating.
Alright, Leah, got the snack bag out?
Yeah,
See what we got.
Talk about.
Wow, got some gummies.
Yeah, I don't know.
What else we got in there? Got some liquid IV, and some Cliff bars and some other good stuff. Alright, so we're now in South Lebanon, and it's a nice little stop. We've got a nice little playground over here, some benches, little bike parking spot, trash can, and some nice benches with a nice cover. So a nice little stop, 2 miles from Kings Mills. Alright, so we've had a couple of cereal bars and some water, and we're back on the path again. I really like these tunnels with trees. Reminds me a lot of some paths in the UK where I grew up, and it's just really nice, these old places where they held old railroad tracks, where they just the trees have grown up on either side, and it's sort of made this nice canopy. It's just really nice and cool. And yeah, I'm now sort of recreating the same experience I had on the bike, or that I had when I was training for my hike a few years ago. I would park at Kings Mills and walk to Loveland and back, and then another one I would stop at South Lebanon and head up this way, but I don't think I made it as far as Morrow. But wow, look at that river. You can see it through the trees. It's really high up. I think the only downside to these canopies is that you can't really see the river, which is literally right there. Whereas the Great Miami that we were on last week, you could see it quite a bit of the trail. So there's definitely a trade-off. I told Leo if he finds a bench, we'll stop for a second and have some candy. The good thing is there are lots of benches on this trail. Alright, so another thing we don't eat a lot of is candy, but when you're on a trail like this and you're burning a lot of energy, it's nice to have a little bit of sugar, and probably makes you a little bit happier too, isn't it? He's a very hot, sweaty boy right now. Alright, Leo and I have stopped for another little break here, and we've already ridden 5 miles. We've got about another 3 to go, so we're doing good, aren't we?
Yeah, we're doing good.
That's right. Alright, off we go again. A little bit of candy for some instant fuel. Leo said he's got his eyes on the prize. I also just went ahead and ordered some side bags and a new saddle, so they will be coming. Yeah, I think we must have had quite a bit of rain last night, because there's quite a lot of debris on the path, and the river's up really high. So I know it did rain last night, but I didn't realize it rained this much. Alright, it's a nice little place to stop, isn't it? Just like last time. Like it? Oh, look how sweaty you are this time. Woo, you sweaty boy. Alright, we've made it to Morrow. There's a nice little restroom over there. And we've got this nice covered shelter like we had on the trail last week. And there's a nice playground over here as well. So a nice little area to stop. Alright, we've made it to Morrow. You can see that if we go any further, you've got Fort Ancient, Oregonia, and then Caesars Creek State Park. Behind me, obviously, you can see where we've come from. So we've got an old train carriage there, and this looks like, yep, this is an old train station right here. Look at this. So we're now riding through Morrow. Yeah. Very cool. I like it. Alright, Leo and I found a little place to stop just outside Morrow, and first thing we've noticed is the river is way up. You can see it down there. It's almost burst its banks. I mean, it's right there. Also, another thing I've noticed is these right here. These are old telegraph wires, and you see a lot of those along the trail. They used to run them along the railway station or along the railroads because it was nice and flat.
Could even do this much. You know it smells like Ben's dog food, right? Oh, this is fun. So confused last time because I thought you were getting this green. It's still born.
Alright, we did 8 miles, so 8 miles back to the truck for 16 total. So it looks like the Depot Brewing Company is something that's being made right now. It's just coming soon. That looks pretty good. Right next by this train carriage there. Pretty cool. Alright, we're heading back. We're passing back through Morrow, past a nice playground. Yeah, Leo says he's feeling tired today, so he wants to head back to the truck. Instead of playing on the playground, he says he definitely wants to come back again though. Yeah, Leo just went heavy on the brakes and stopped all of a sudden, and I'm like, "You okay?" And he said, "I'm just really tired." So I told him, well, let's go up a little bit further and find a bench and we can sit down properly and have some more candy. Big, isn't it? That thing. Alright, looks like we found a place to stop for a second. I think I might have heard thunder, but I'm not quite sure. I might be in the road over there, but it's getting a bit cloudy. So, oh no. That was thunder. Woo! It's about to get spicy. Alright, we just had a nice little stop. Leo had a little snack. I had a little bit of leftover candy. And it's come over very dark. We've had a little bit of lightning, but no rain so far. We'll see what happens. It's starting to rain a little bit, but we're mostly under canopy, so we're not really feeling it just yet. Yeah, a little bit of rain, huh? It's not too bad. You can see a little bit of light in the distance, so it should be fairly short. Hope. Yeah, it's starting to come down a bit now. Starting to get a little bit wet. Finally, it just said full retreat. Yeah, it's starting to really come down now. We're starting to get pretty wet, but I haven't heard any more thunder, so I think it's just a quick passing storm. These visors come in handy. I'll tell you that, we're able to keep steaming on and seeing where we're going. Yeah, it's just a quick passing storm. It's already died down quite a bit. Still some black clouds, but just a quick shower. Tell you what though, that little rainstorm has cooled things off quite a bit. I feel quite good now. If you look closely, you can see a deer right there. Oh, and you can hear the thunder. Yeah, so it's a little bit drier in this area, so definitely a patchy storm. I let Leo lead the way on these trips because I want him to set the pace, whatever's comfortable for him, and then I just follow behind. You really see the river down there. You know, that's the first I've heard of the cicadas today, and it's not nearly as loud as it was 2 weeks ago. In fact, most of the trail so far hasn't been very loud at all, which is nice because they were deafeningly loud 2 weeks ago. Alright, we're coming up on South Lebanon again, which means we've only got a couple more miles, but we're going to stop for a minute and take a little break. Just noticed that both Morrow and South Lebanon both have these nice parks for the kids, which is really good. So what's nice about the trail here is that they have lots of signs like this that kind of explain the area. And you can stop and look at them all across the trail. Alright, we're making the final stretch back to the truck. Only 2 more miles to go. Yeah, so Leo's been pretty tired today, but he's steaming ahead now that he knows that the end is in sight. We've only got about another mile and a half to go. Alright, looks like we've made it. I can see the factory ahead. It's just starting to rain and just a little bit, but not as bad as earlier. Good job, Leah. Oh. That was fun. All right, 16 miles. How do you feel?
Tired.
Tired? Yeah, it's starting to rain really hard, but we made it back into the truck. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. We put out new videos every week.